So, what on earth could the inventor of dynamite teach us about writing a book? Well, as it turns out, everything. Seriously, Alfred Nobel, the guy behind the Nobel Prize, left behind this incredible secret for anyone, really, who's struggling to get their voice heard. And we're going to dive right in and see how the way he designed his prize is actually a perfect blueprint for building your own authority, way before you even think about publishing. And this quote, man, it just nails the whole idea, doesn't it? The pedestal is built before the statue is unveiled. We all think the big thing, the book, the finished project, is what gets you noticed. But the real secret, the work that actually makes sure people are waiting for your stuff, that all happens when you're building the foundation. Okay, to really get this, we have to go back, way back. We're talking the very first Nobel Prize ceremony. Because what happened there? Well, it completely changed the game of how people get recognized for their work. So here's the really mind-blowing part about Nobel. His true genius wasn't just the dynamite, or even the massive fortune he left behind. It was his vision. He didn't just write a check. He architected a whole system. He laid out everything: the committees, the rules, the fancy ceremony, the whole shebang. He built an entire structure of prestige that he knew would command respect right from the get-go. So who were these first winners, right? Were they like these undiscovered geniuses nobody had ever heard of? Not a chance. Absolutely not. The committee picked people whose impact was already massive. You've got Wilhelm Röntgen, who discovered X-rays. You've got Henri Dunant, the founder of the Red Cross. I mean, these weren't up-and-comers. These were giants. Their work had already changed the world. And this is the absolute key. The prize wasn't a launch pad for their careers. It was a coronation. Nobel got this deep truth that so many of us, especially creators and writers, completely miss. The prize didn't make them credible. It just shined a huge spotlight on the credibility they'd already built. So that's the big lesson here. Authority isn't awarded, it's architected. You build it yourself. And that brings us right back to the big trap that so many writers fall into today. There's this massive gap, right, between what we think will make us credible and what actually works. Yeah, this is the trap right here. Believing that, once I get a book deal or once the 5-star reviews roll in, then people will listen to me. It's this super passive way of thinking, like you're waiting for some gatekeeper to wave a magic wand and say, you are now an expert. But guess what? That's just not how it works anymore. So we've got to redefine what we even mean by writer credibility. It's not about the book deal. It's the trust you earn before the book ever hits the shelves. It's all that visible proof, the articles you write, the talks you give, the little community you're building that shows people, hey, this person knows their stuff, long before you ask them to buy a thing. And here it comes, the number one pushback. I can practically hear you thinking it right now. This all sounds great, but I'm trying to write a book here. I don't have time to be a marketer. And look, that's a totally fair point, but it's based on a big misunderstanding of what this actually takes. Listen, you don't have to do it all at once. This is not about trying to become some mega influencer overnight. It's about small, smart, consistent actions. Think about it. One solid LinkedIn post a week, one guest article a month. That's it. Those little things, they compound like crazy over time, building this solid foundation of authority. All right, so how do we actually do this? Like step by step? Well, we can literally borrow Nobel's playbook. I'm calling it the Nobel Framework, and it's your guide to architecting your own authority. It's got 5 core steps, and every single one is pulled directly from what Nobel did. We're going to define the mission, build a committee, create proof of concept, formalize the whole thing, and stick to a timeline. Let's break it down. Okay, check this out. This is where it all clicks. Number 1, define the mission. Nobel picked his fields, right? For you, it's about getting crystal clear on your core message and who you're talking to, because clarity is authority. Step 2, build the committee. Nobel had institutions to judge the work. Your committee? That's your crew, mentors, early readers, trusted friends who give you honest feedback. You need those voices. Number 3, and this one is so important, create proof of concept. The Nobel winners had already proven their impact. You do this by getting your ideas out there. Publish essays, give a talk, teach a little workshop. You need evidence that your ideas work. 4, formalize the structure. The ceremonies and rules gave the Nobel Prize its weight. For you, this means starting a simple newsletter or a website. It just signals that you're taking this seriously. And finally, number 5, honor the timeline. The prizes started right on schedule. You need to set your own deadlines for these credibility-building steps. It keeps you honest and moving forward. So, using this framework isn't just about checking off boxes. It requires a real mindset shift. It's a total change in how you see your work. You're moving from just hoping someone will notice you to actively, intentionally building the reason they will. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. The old way of thinking is, once I publish, they'll take me seriously. The new mindset is, I'm going to get taken seriously so that when I publish, it just amplifies what people already respect. See the difference? One is waiting, the other is building. It's a complete game changer. Here's another way to think about it. Your book isn't the first brick you lay. It's the capstone. You know, that final, crowning piece you put on a structure that's already been built. A structure made of all those articles and talks and the trust you've earned. Okay, theory is awesome, but let's get practical. How do you actually start building this pedestal for yourself, like right now? Here are some super simple things you can do this month. Seriously, don't get overwhelmed. Just start with this. First, nail down your field. What's the one-sentence problem your book solves? Easy. Second, get one piece of proof out there. Just one guest post or even a really solid social media thread. Third, start building that committee. Ask 5 people you trust to give you feedback on an idea. And last, formalize it by starting a super simple newsletter. That's it. Totally doable. What's a good goal to shoot for before you launch? How about this? 3. Just 3 published articles. If you get 3 solid articles in the right places, you can start to be seen as an authority. It's not about writing a ton, it's about being smart and visible. And another one? 50 newsletter subscribers. Now, I know, 50 might not sound like a huge number, but think about what it is. It's 50 actual human beings who said, yep, I trust what you have to say, and I want more of it. That, my friends, is the seed of a real community. So when it comes down to it, the big takeaway is this. Authority is never an accident. The people we look up to didn't just stumble into it. They built it. They architected it, brick by brick, with deliberate and visible action. So we end right where we started. Your book. That's the statue. It's the masterpiece you're pouring your soul into. But a statue with no pedestal, it gets lost in the crowd. So the real question, the only question that matters right now is, when does construction begin?